Like, style is a weapon. You use it to advertise for you, advocate for you. Before anybody know you, they look you up and down, and they're going to know enough of what you about or what they're going to assume, right? Because you could walk around looking homeless, be a billionaire, but for the most part, people going to judge you off how you look, and style is a weapon in that way. With that being said, high fashion is something, it's one of the sharpest tools, or it's one of the ones where it just be like, look at me. Look at me for good, look at me for bad, just look at me. I'm going to have the cum drip Mason Margielas, or like the fucking, you know, the Balenci's that's all torn up. They barely hang on your feet and stuff like that.
Right.
And that, I think, inside of rap culture, inside of the black culture, what's happening right now, we just got here.
Joey.
Yup. I was lost in the sauce for a second there, brother. You had to pull me out.
I see.
That was a goal.
Ended up having some hood code alumni.
Come on.
Shout out Ace.
An entrepreneur, if I ever seen one.
My boy.
A hell of a mind. A hell of a hustler.
Mind and grind. That's all it is.
Nigga, for a second, before I say your name, what don't you do?
I can't play the piano, and it bothered me sometimes. But I could fuck some drums up though.
This nigga said I can't. He said I can't tickle an ivory. Yeah.
Yo, man, I got my man Mike Gates.
Big Gates.
Big Gates.
You already.
Tell me your platform, man. Tell me your platform before we start going.
Man, shout out to Ground Control first and foremost. The home team. Eastside Buffalo. Shout out all y'all too.
Man, if look, this man hit you up. If you're on your job and you putting your hip hops together,
Yes, sir.
he probably spoke to you.
It's like Rap City, the basement, meet the Gucci store.
Come on.
You had special in there, right?
We did 38. You know, just these ones ain't, you know, as of this dropping, you know, Ricky was last week. Jay Skis just burned it down. He was for the culture. Heem did his thing. Charlie Clips didn't drop that yet. You know, nobody knows this yet.
Come on.
It's so much more I want to do with it, right? And it's not just rap. I'm really trying to get my R&B on. I'm really trying to get deep down into the culture first and foremost. So I'm all about the culture, right? Ground Control. Our one-liner is, we are the culture, we're for the culture. And that is 100% what I'm pushing for life.
As you should. Now,
Good motto. Good
when
motto.
you said Rap City, the basement meets the Gucci store, I know you a fashion dude.
For sure.
Now, where you draw the line at, though? Like, Joey was talking and he said something, and it make us want to ask you, because I think you're the appropriate person to ask. Is all high fashion good? Like, is that all good fashion? Like, where you draw the line at?
So I always, my first original one-liner for the store was, style is a weapon, right?
Right.
But I didn't keep it because it's actually something I heard from a, well, I didn't hear her say it, but it's a girl on Instagram. Shout out to her. That's her name, and I love her page, what she do, stuff like that. But I immediately had an interpretation of what she does, and it stuck with me. Like, style is a weapon. You use it to advertise for you, advocate for you. Before anybody know you, they look you up and down, and they're going to know enough of what you about or what they're going to assume, right? Because you could walk around looking homeless, be a billionaire, but for the most part, people going to judge you off how you look, and style is a weapon in that way. With that being said, high fashion is something, it's one of the sharpest tools, or it's one of the ones where it just be like, look at me. Look at me for good, look at me for bad, just look at me. I'm going to have the cum drip Mason Margielas, or like the fucking, you know, the Balenci's that's all torn up. They barely hang on your feet and stuff like that.
Right.
And that, I think, inside of rap culture, inside of the black culture, what's happening right now, we just got here. Right. We just got to high fashion as it was intended. Like, to shock and awe. Like we didn't, like, we wanted Gucci because it was Gucci, but nobody was looking at the the helicopter hair or like just crazy things that was happening on the runway in the 90s, like I would actually wear that. We looked at the names and was like, oh, well, I want the Gucci because it's Gucci. But like, as far as like doing the shock and awe thing, which was what high fashion did almost more than anybody else. You go to the fashion shows, it's barely clothing. Right. It's almost not even stuff like.
It's more art pieces.
It's more art, right?
Yeah. So
inside of that, with that being said, you got people out there that's eccentric as fuck. And I think, is all high fashion good fashion? No for me. No for me, because I feel like if you forcing it, just mushing a bunch of unrelated themes and concepts together, it could get muddied up fast. And if it costs, 10 bands per fit, you like, I put that shit on. No, you just put a bunch of shit on.
Yeah, you just put a bunch of names on.
But if you're doing it right, I think even the craziest shit, cause I love to see when it happens right. Shout out Rico Nasty. Shout out like a for real, Uzi is doing his thing in a way. Like, and it's monumental, and it's
Uzi when you see him.
You know who was influenced by Uzi when you see him.
Yeah, absolutely,
and that's important, right? Because it's just another voice for the next person, another idea for somebody else to be like, yo, I really like what's happening here. I'd be like, I hate it. Somebody else somewhere like, nah, like this is the hardest shit ever. So is all high fashion good fashion? No, but I think it's space for everybody to have that self-expression that it was intended for, and then you got that elevated factor of like, yo, I went out, worked however many jobs, worked at Trader Joe's for however long to go and finally get my $3,000 pair of tore up Balenci shoes or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's a feat. Right. It's a different kind of flex, but really for us, it's the same kind of flex, ain't it?
Yeah.
What was it when we was spending 200 on J's when we was only making 200 in a week? So it's the same thing. Enough.
No, you said something. Can I ask you something? Okay. Who would you say would be a better example of high fashion done the right way? ASAP, Kanye, or who we just mentioned, Uzi,
or Offset.
Yeah,
no Offset in
there.
I think they all speaking 2 and 4 different people.
Okay.
Uzi got so like to give a little bit of depth on it, just don't say no airy, fake deep shit. Uzi got like a if I had to put a name next to it, it's like a Boy Rico Nasty thing going on where it's like that alt. He said his influences was like a Marilyn Monroe. I mean, I said a Marilyn Monroe, Marilyn Manson, or like that heavy gothic influence mixed style with like
that metal / gothic type vibe,
punk, emo / whatever. That thing going on inside of hip hop culture, and still, I'm gonna get me a diamond bust down choker. Mickey Mouse, whatever,
right?
And that's something that is so for us because it was a bunch of people that had those feelings, identified with that music, identified with that time, identified with them clothes that they was wearing in that Marilyn Manson era, but they didn't have a voice. They didn't have nobody en masse saying like, "No, it's cool, be you, do that."
You gonna wear the new Timbs?
Which ones?
Not the honey glaze,
the honey glaze joints,
the patent leather ones.
Maybe.
You gonna rock them?
If I feel like I could find something that
to go with them,
that go crazy, I could see myself. That remind me of like a 90s fit. Honestly, I got a childhood picture. My dad spent 18 years in prison, and I found a picture of like a baby picture of me with my dad with the honey glazed joints on from back in the 90s, and I was like a little like maybe 2, 3. I don't remember the picture, but he had a S550, and the all leather. The like body, the jumpsuit joint with the leather honey glaze, that color too, like all leather.
Oh, so that's
he was him. He was him. Big stupid dookie ropes, chains on. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll do that. I probably would recreate that picture. But even outside of that, just that fit. Even if he wasn't my dad, even if I didn't have that personal attachment to it, hell yeah. Today, I probably would do that today. Now, like right now, like leave out of here. Like yo, I'm about to pop out tonight. I'm about to put the leather jumpsuit on with the leather 90s. Tim's, because that was a thing already.
That was you can't really go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with it.
I think people laughing at it now because it's out, but it's all I tell everybody.
The people laughing at it,
always
the people
a way to do something,
right?
And then it's gonna be that one nigga you see do it like I'm honest, bro, put that shit on.
That's how it was with the 40s, though. Remember when they dropped? The 40 belows, it had a select crowd.
That was
Everybody
fucking
wouldn't rock them. You know what I'm saying?
You backed out some 40s between like 05 and 010. You was getting laughed at.
Exactly.
Now 40s is $800, bro.
Yep.
Exactly.
$800 and $1,000 and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it just you
Everything
gotta be
circle
you,
back
bro.
around.
You gotta be you enough to not care, and also to know I'm him. Like in my soul, in my spirit. Like make fun of me. I'm making fun of you. Even if you laughing, I'm laughing at you.
Right.
Because I'm him in my spirit, in my soul, and don't get me twisted. You got some people that's deluded in that. Like
Right.
they'd be like, "Nah, I got that shit on." I'm like, no, bro, you don't.
Yeah.
But if you know what you're doing and you had a reason and you had a theme and you felt it and you believed in it, man, do your stuff. And don't get me twisted. A big part of what I think that style is a weapon thing is you got to take chances. You got to take chances. Do something like I'm 300 plus pounds. I just came from LA with a silk olive green top and bottom shirt wide open with a silk chiffon Christian Dior scarf tied around my fresh out of Paris looking nigga, and I didn't care because I'm taking my chance.
Right.
I thought it was hot. No matter what y'all think, I thought it was hot.
Let me ask you something. Would you ever style somebody?
I used to think I would, but I hate more than anything. I hate when I have an idea like I might think it's hot and I'm pushing it, and somebody else might have an idea they think it's hot, and I'm like, I wouldn't do that shit. As an adult, right? As this me, I'm like, bro, you better wear whatever make you feel that way. And I think everybody everywhere should be doing that. I don't really believe in having a stylist. I don't believe in, like, if you ask me, I'll do it. But like, would I want to? No.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me twisted. You bring that bag, come on with it. But even then, I'm a kind of sort of be trying to pull what's your thing out. Like, I'm trying to pull, like, what you really want to wear right now. And I'm going to try to find something inside of your themes that
That could look. That could
fit
go.
that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.